Here we have a 2003 on an 03 registration Volvo B12M Plaxton Panther 70-seat coach. So, we are in Trefor, Gwynedd, North Wales at Llanogan Trefor Motors, looking at this, obviously, from the gold bits, ex-National Holidays, originally Shearings, Volvo Plaxton that's now been converted, probably for its last job in its life, 70-seater school coach. I'm going to be honest, with this, what you see is what you get. There's bubbling, surface bubbling all over. There's signs of a little bit of rust just on the stretch panel there. Alloy wheels are fitted. But as I said, when you get to this age, what you see is what you get. She'll go out every morning, she'll do your school contract, she'll come back every afternoon, do another school contract, and pretty much keep going and going. Got a rear continental door fitted, which can be useful sometimes for unloading when you're tight for time. The other thing to bear in mind, she's just been through an MOT. Okay, so she's got till July next year, so you've got a year's motoring minimum out of this. And as I said, you can just keep throwing her up the test station and eventually she ain't going to pass and she goes to the bus depot in the sky, doesn't she? Good thing about these 12Ms, loads of luggage, so you've got a massive boot. Boot lid doesn't open, unfortunately, but you've got all that side access. This is where they come in handy for school residentials, that sort of thing. Having all that luggage. Again, bit scabby along the bottom. The big thing with these 12Ms is because they move the engine back from where the 10M was, you've got this huge locker at the front as well. Just to give you sort of a brief bit of boring history, the B12M was born out of the B10M SE, which was built for National Express. So basically what they did, took a B10M, usually a Plaxton Paragon as far as I can recall, moved the engine back to give that extra luggage space, became known as the B10M SE, which then morphed into the B12M with obviously a more uprated engine in. As we jump on board, we've got 70 Cogent seats. They're fitted with 3-point seat belts. Seats are in generally good order, to be honest. As I said, this isn't going to be your frontline 70-seat coach, is it? This is going to be something that you buy just to do a contract or to sit in the corner of the yard to get you out of trouble, which it will. Gets a bit higgledy-piggledy at the back because of the continental door. But as I said, generally, and you always look at the back because that's where all bad kids sit. And can't really fault them, to be honest. We are wired for CCTV, by the way. I think I found one. I mean, there's obviously been sods of repairs, that sort of thing. But look, it's got 12 months test and it's a good, honest motor. And I can't tell you much more than that. That's probably the worst of it. But as I said, it's gone through an MOT like that. It all depends what you're looking for. But I'm finding, weirdly, that every time I advertise something like this, my phone melts. Which tells a story, I suppose. So, back down the front. Dash, well, dash is fine, to be honest. There's nothing missing or anything like that. We've got the wood effect trim to the dash. It has been fitted with a digital tachograph. That's showing 128,000 kilometres. If you're going to ask me the mileage, I'm not going to be able to tell you. Simply because that's telling me not a lot, and that's just telling me how much it's done since it's been fitted. So very difficult, but on a 2003 vehicle, with 12 months MOT. Is mileage that important? Probably not. It is a Euro 3 engine. It's driven through a 6-speed manual gearbox. Don't let that put you off, because B12M manuals are the easiest thing in the world to drive. Gearbox, you know, remember the old Tigers were like reverse was over by the courier seat? There's none of that with these things. Speaking of which, courier seats fitted. So, all in all, what can I say? Look, she's not beautiful on the outside. She's alright on the inside. She'll get you out of a corner. She's got a 12 months ticket. And she's just a good, honest motor, you know. There's nothing, nobody's trying to hide anything with this one, which is what I like. So, to recap, it's a 2003 on an 03 registration, Volvo B12M, Plaxton Panther, 70-seat coach.